Hello there guys and welcome, it is Niran here and today it is time for me to bring you episode number 7 of our MotoGP career mode walkthrough. Now last time out we were at the Sachsenring and we were at Indianapolis, and my word did the Sachsenring provide some drama. If you haven't seen that episode already, make sure to go and check it out because it was an absolute stonker of a race, and it's left the standings looking like so in Moto3, with Quartararo top, with Kent second, Oliveira third and Vasquez fourth. But crucially, we have started getting towards podium places on a more regular basis. We've got a favourite team, which is Red Bull. Okay, I thought I had signed for Red Bull KTM, but apparently I have not. Hang on. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. I think I know what's happened. So I selected my favourite team, and then my agent is going to try and go out and get me to sign for that team. Potentially after this race. I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll see. Anyway, it seems like for now we're still riding on a Mahindra, so we're going to go ahead straight into the race at Brno in the Czech Republic, which coincidentally is where we rode for the first time in our MotoGP career as a wildcard back in the eons ago in episode number 1. Now, we're in qualifying, and I'm not going to lie to you, I completely forgot to switch that off. We're not meant to be doing qualifying, because I'd given up on that idea before. Anyway, we're going to move into bike development, and we're going to move, I reckon we should move the chassis to level 2, so we're going to do that. So we've now got a level 2 chassis, which makes our bike even quicker. So then, heavy rain is the order of the day then for the race here in the Czech Republic. We saw the light rain qualifying session a moment ago, and we obviously applied our data pack to the bike in terms of the chassis, so that should perform even just a little bit better in this one. We're starting as per usual in 34th on the grid, and here is the grid again in the background for those that haven't seen it. But one thing I've got to say, I've got to apologise before we get into this game, because the this race, the frame rate of this game when it's raining is absolutely atrocious. As soon as the spray starts, it goes just down the drain. So do bear with whilst you're watching, because the frame rate goes a bit down the drain, it has to be said. Anyway, we are underway. Yamboy has got underway, and we're going to try and make movements up the inside here of Rodrigo. Darren Binder getting a little bit under pressure maybe from people behind. He got a little bit out the seat or something, had a bit of a moment. Anyway, we've gone past a few riders here. We're up to 27th, and we're currently sat behind Remy Gardner. In front of that, I think, is Jules Danilo, and then I can see one of my teammates up the road from that. We've just got past Maria Herrera, hence the Husqvarna rider is right behind us. And down into that left-hander, we've biffed Remy Gardner out of the way. An absolute treat there, I do apologise to the Australian, but we're up into 25th place. The frame rate is shocking. As soon as we get up to any kind of speed, there we go, on the curb again, it's dropped again. Jorge Martin, though, is alongside us at the moment, as soon as we try to get around the outside of him. Of course, this is where we had our first race, and it's, of course, also where we scored our first points, because we scored our first points in our wildcard race here at Brno, grabbing 15th place on the final lap of the race, passing our soon-to-be teammate. We didn't know it at the time, but he would end up being our teammate. I think it was Bagnaia. Anyway, we've stumbled across a bit of a brick wall now, because we haven't passed anyone in a good 4 or 5 corners, which is an absolute nightmare for me. But we tried to go around the outside there of Philip Ertl. But Livio Loy and Philip Ertl, actually. We went quite wide. Actually, one thing I've noticed about this game, which is quite nice, is the lean angle. It doesn't seem as if the lean angle is as extensive in the rain, which is how it is in real life, because obviously the riders have to tiptoe due to the obviously increased chances of falling off. So that's quite nice that they've implemented that. We're being passed, though, now by Philip Ertl, because this bike is characteristically just a turtle in a straight line. We've backed it into the penultimate corner, but we have made it around the outside. I think of the German. No, we haven't. He holds on to the position. And so far, after a very good first sort of 3 or 4 corners, we're really struggling. And I think it's because this track really does depend on having even a semi-quick bike. You can see my teammate in front, Guevara, is being swamped there by Minho and Ertl because he's on a really slow Mahindra. So this could end up actually being quite a difficult race. We're going to go past Guevara and Ertl, though, there, and we're going to try and stick in the slipstream of Minho, because despite the the data packs we've put on this bike, it's still a bit slower in a straight line. We're going to try and make a move up the inside down into this left-hander though on Minya. That should be job done fairly easily. Are we going to go around the outside of all of them? I don't think so. We might get around the outside of... Oh, no, we get sat up by the Japanese rider. And yet again, in this middle section of the lap, middle section towards the end and then towards the end of the lap, we are really struggling to actually get past people. Good exit though out of that right-hander, and we go past our teammate Bagnaia and also Hiroki Ono. Ferrari's also on a Mahindra, so even in a straight line we should be able to at least be quicker than him. Well, at least be the same speed as him. And we are, and we go through and take 15th place. Lovely little battle shaping up in front of us, though. And Fanati is the first rider to be attacked. We can see Locatelli, Bastianini, Masbu. Then I assume it's Antonelli and McPhee in that one as well. McPhee, who seems to be quite high up the order in comparison to usual. We've gone past Fanati, but then got a shocker of a run down towards, or up towards even, the penultimate corner, which is going to allow the Italian back up our inside. But on lap 2 of 5 here, we're doing an okay job, actually. We're doing an okay-ish job in 14th at the moment. And Quartararo setting the fastest lap of the race. He's actually leading from Kent and Oliveira at the moment, with Vasquez and Vinales battling for 4th and 5th. And it's the 2 Red Bull KTM bikes. We could be teammates, of course, to Haneke, Binder and Oliveira. So I honestly don't know how that's going to work. I genuinely thought it was just, you just sign with that team. I thought that was an offer that was on the table. But clearly my agent has to go out and try and get that deal for us. I'm guessing there's a certain percentage of chance that he may fail. Anyway, whilst I was talking about that, we've lunged up the inside of the Ongetta bike, or is that... No, that's a Grassini, isn't it? We've lunged up the inside of the Grassini bike. The frame rate is about as flipping consistent as... I don't know what it is consistent as. As consistent as this channel's upload. Actually, no, this channel's upload schedule is quite consistent. Ignore me. It's as consistent as a very inconsistent YouTuber's upload schedule. And we're back up to normal now. But we've got Masbu and McPhee to our left, to our right-hand side. I can't even do my rights and lefts. McPhee's going to try and go up the inside. We, however, are going to try and swing around the outside of Antonelli, but I don't think that's going to work. Is it? Oh, hello. Flipping Nora. Yes, it did. Perhaps 6th is a good aim for this race. In a track, really, that doesn't particularly suit this bike, it has to be said, in terms of just being all about brute speed, really, quite a lot of the time. But we've gone past Navarro on the Estrella Galicia Honda, or Estrella Galicia Honda, even. And next up are the 2 Red Bull IO KTMs. As Haneke lunges up the inside of Binder, of course, his home Grand Prix. One of 2 home riders for this Grand Prix. The other one is Jakob Kornfeil, who we passed way back on lap 1. Cast your minds back to lap 1 if you can, because we passed him then. I failed to mention he was a home rider, but it's very close between all 3 of us. Binder and Haneke were literally alongside each other, and we were there joining the party as well. We've gone up the inside, though, down into turn 1. Nice little move as they're now trying to swamp me. One of them's gone up the inside. It's Binder, but we do hold on in the end. Vasquez and Vinales battling behind. I don't know, maybe if we're really quick through the rest of this lap, we might be able to do something with like a kamikaze last corner lunge or something, but it's going to be a bit difficult. We've bridged the gap quite considerably so far. We're going to have to be clean. But we are now right with these guys, actually, so I'm going to have to eat my words. Maybe we will be able to get higher than the 6th place that we were aiming for. But this is the 3rd to last corner, so we've literally only got 2 more opportunities to make a move here. So if we just stay in the slipstream of Vinales down towards the penultimate corner, we may even get Vasquez as well. Vinales goes up the inside of Vasquez. We got the inside of both of them. Can we hang it around the outside? No, Vinales has biffed us out. Vasquez will get up the inside as well of him. Will Vinales take it to the line, or will Vasquez get there? It seemed pretty close. We only take 6, though. It was going to be very difficult from that position. I think Vasquez may have beaten Vinales to 4th. No, Vinales got it. It was actually a dead heat again, which seems to happen very regularly on this game. But Vinales got 4th from Vasquez, and we have to settle for 6th. But it's Danny Kent who wins. Another dead heat for the lead as well. But Quartararo is given 2nd in the end, with Oliveira 3rd. Binder was 7th from Haneke, so he just got the better of the home favourite. Then Navarro 9th, Bastianini got the better of the punch-up for 10th. Then it was Antonelli, Masbu, McPhee, Fanati, and Andrea Locatelli. Then Ono, Migno, Bagnaia, Ferrari, and Ertl to round at the top 20. And then there is the rest of the order. And Kyrudine retired, and the man who I said was the home favourite, Jakob Kornfeil, clearly I gave him some sort of commentator's curse because he retired as well. As you can see, though, in the championship, Quartararo is now 30 points clear of Danny Kent, so Kent has shaved that lead slightly, with Oliveira quite a distant third now. And it's Vasquez, Binder and Haneke. Vinales is now up to 7th in front of Navarro, who had a very poor race there. We're still in 9th, but only 7 points away from Vinales and only 10 points away from Haneke in 6th. So we could even get 6th in the championship by the end of this episode. Then it's Masbu 10th, Bastianini 11th, then Antonelli, McPhee, Fenati, Locatelli, Ono and Bagnaia. Are you fed up of Brno? Well, too bad, because now we've got a test there. As with the test a few episodes back at Mugello, we have got 3 data packs up for grabs, and all we've got to do is beat the time to beat, which is a 2:10.746. So we're just going to go out and do 1 lap, or, well, however many laps it takes, and hopefully we win those data packs. Before we actually do the test, we have a data pack from the last Grand Prix here at Brno in slightly different conditions, and we're going to apply that to the suspension to make that level 2 suspension. We've now got level 2 chassis and level 2 engine. So as with before, what I'll do, like we did in Mugello, what I'll do is we'll just introduce things, and then I'll come back to me when we're coming towards the end of the lap, and hopefully we're beating that magic 210 even, 0.746. I don't feel as if this lap can be any better than it has been. I don't think I'm going to get better than this, so hopefully we're going to come across the line and beat the time, and we do indeed. It actually took a few attempts that time. At Mugello we did it first time. We actually missed out by a second the first time, and yet the second time we actually beat it by 8 tenths. I don't know how that works. We do a 2:09.9 basically, and therefore beat the 2:10.7, and we earn our 3 data packs. I really had to concentrate through that one, but right then, next up is the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Silverstone, a track that obviously I know quite well from F1, but I've never ridden it on this game. I've never tried it, I don't think, ever actually on 2 wheels, because back when I used to buy MotoGP games in the past, we were at Donington, and would you look at that, we've waited however many I think it's been 11 Grand Prix, a 10 Grand Prix for rain, and then we get 2 on the bounce. 1 at Brno, heavy rain, only light rain here today at Silverstone, which probably just sums up Britain as a whole. This is just traditional British weather, to be fair. Anyway, big chunk of bike development to do, because we've obviously now got those 3 data packs from testing, so we can apply 1 to the brakes, and now they're all equal. So we've now got level 2 on brakes, level 2 on suspension, level 2 on chassis, and level 2 on engine. Now, I'm thinking we then put the other 2 into engine, because, you know, that's at the end of the day what is weakest about this bike. And then next time, after this race, and for next episode, we can have a level 3 engine, which means it'll be very, very quick indeed. Of course, we are starting at the back, but we're going to see the grid for today's Moto3 Grand Prix, and Danny Kent is on pole for the home Grand Prix. Shout out to Masbu starting 5th. In Nicky Ayo as well, up in 14th on the grid. 4 lights are on, and they are now off. We've got Rodrigo, Tanucci, and Carrasco in front of us, and look at us. Our leathers actually match now. There's no blue in sight. We're all red and white, and it looks perfect. Gone round Rodrigo, who was very, very cautious on the brakes, and Tanucci and Carrasco slow down as well on exit from Copse. We get blocked off by Ana Carrasco, but we have managed to get past Alessandro Tanucci, and down towards Maggots and Beckett's and the such like. Oh, there's a rider down. That's Migno, who has a high side through the middle of Maggots, and we actually did a pretty decent job of avoiding him there, and as did everyone else throughout the field. So we're up into 25th. We've gone past Jorge Martin with a little kiss and a bump. We go past Guevara now as well, our other teammate. Now we're getting in the slipstream of Kornfeil and Manzi down towards Stowe Corner. Can we get a double overtake here? Obviously, we are home favourites as well for this one, because we're registered British on the game, because obviously I'm British in real life, so that makes a lot of sense. Down into Stowe Corner, someone's gone massively wide. I think that's Guevara, or potentially Bagnaia. But yeah, we've obviously got to try and do well for the cause here as well, do well for the British fans. Down towards Club. Oof. You obviously didn't feel this, but I felt on the vibrations we were about to go down then. So we get very squirrely on exit as well. And we're going to try and maybe make a lunge on Ferrari and Ertl here. I reckon we can get up the inside, and we can. Clean as you like move. That's 2 more positions gained. up into 19th place. Next up is our teammate Bagnaia, then it's Livio Loy, Nicky Aya, who started 14th and has already dropped to 16th by the looks of things. We've gone past Bagnaia though, and there's a Grassini bike actually that's struggling. That looks like it might be Locatelli. But only one crash so far in this one, and that was Andrea Mignot on lap 1. We've got Bagnaia behind us. We're going up the... Oh, God. Oh, my word. We came very close to hitting Locatelli. You could see that coming a mile away, that we were going way too deep there and potentially going to hit Locatelli. But we did actually manage to avoid any incident. And there's a good old scrap shaping up, actually. Oh, my word. Well out of shape. Had to put a foot down there as we got out of the seat. I think we're going to have Livio Loy and potentially Nicky Io around us. Yeah, they are very close to us, but thankfully not close enough to make a move. Hiroki Ono is now looking behind him. There's no one there, pal. Don't worry, I'm to your side. I'm to your right-hand side. You don't need to look behind you. Anyway, we go up the inside of Fanati and Ono. No, we can't make a move, unfortunately. Although we will stick in the slipstream. And whilst everyone brakes, we just track extend massively. Basically, to be fair, that was more in avoidance of Antonelli, who for some reason braked through there. Anyway, through Copse, we've now got the inside of Bastianini. Binder's underperforming here. He's in 10th. We've set the fastest lap of the race, though. And we've got to be careful because these guys love to brake at a very random point during this complex, and we avoid them and go up the inside instead. So that's McPhee and Binder dispatched up into 9th place. Next is Haneke. Got a much better line through there than Haneke, and hence a much better run, especially at this left-hander. And through we go. That's another position gained, up into 8th place. But quite a gap now up the road to, I think, Viñales and actually potentially McPhee, who's having a... Oh, no, it's McPhee behind us. So is it Masbu up the road then? I don't know. I haven't got a clue, actually. Only on lap 3, though, here as well. And we're making good progress, actually. I was a bit worried at the end, towards the end of lap 2. But we've dispatched quite a lot of people so far on this lap. So actually got quite a lot of pace here in a straight line as well. That engine upgrade clearly doing the job because we managed to stick in the slipstream there of Viñales and Masbu and make it up the inside through the F1 turn 1. I've just realised as well one other thing. We haven't had a DNFer from up the order in God knows how long. I think since Le Mans, where Masbu retired. We have not had someone from the upper echelons of the points actually retire from a race in ages. And we tend to have someone retire every race, but they always seem to be backmarkers like Kyrudine and Cornfile and Manzi and Ferrari and stuff, but they never seem to be the guys that count. That's why I put that in, was because we'd potentially get people who finish high up the order actually retiring from the race, and it hasn't happened as of yet. It's only happened to Masbu at his home Grand Prix. Obviously, we've had crashes for big riders, but we've not actually had any breakdowns for the likes of Kent and Oliveira. Anyway, we're going at the inside of Navarro then. The Estrella Galicia man has been dispatched. We've set another fastest lap of the race. I can't see why we can't win this one, to be honest, because it's Quartararo and Kent. As long as we don't get too detached from them, as long as these guys don't hold us up, which they probably shouldn't do because they're quite quick, as Vasquez there gives us a bit of a biff. I know we sort of closed in on him a little bit, but we do go past the Spaniard. And now it's the Portuguese rider, Miguel Oliveira, who I think we've only finished in front of when he's crashed. So we can break a record there because we obviously beat him in Mugello. We beat him at Sachsenring, but both of those times he crashed out of the race. Well, not crashed out of the race, but crashed in the race. We've gone past him there at Stowe. That was a very kamikaze manoeuvre. Silverstone always does things like this when it rains. I remember Jonas Folger winning a Moto3 race. Oh, but we've got a penalty. How have we got a penalty? That was going wide. To be fair, it's absolutely nothing. Though I say that, it's enough to decide a Moto3 race. It's only 600ths of a second. Final lap of the race here. Through Copse we go. Can we get a fairy tale story here? I know who I'd be supporting in this situation. Well, I'd be supporting any of the Brits in reality, but I'd mainly be supporting me, because I'm the one who doesn't usually win things. I always support the underdog, and I am most certainly the underdog in this situation. Danny Kent, though, is trying his best to keep us behind him, and he's done a good job, actually, because usually we make a move through there. Though we do get a better exit, though, coming out of, I think it's Maggots and down now the hanger straight. Kent's in the slipstream of Quartararo, so he's gaining on him. Now we duck into the slipstream of Quartararo to make it 3 abreast down into Stowe. Fantastic racing. We're last to the late breakers, though, down into this right-hander. Get on the curb, though, a little bit and get out of shape. That might lose us some time. I think it has to Danny Kent, but if we go defensive down into the club section, which we do, Kent can only go around the outside, and he can't do that. That's not happening. So, we hold on to the position for now. We are in the lead for the first time in this series. We've never led a race before. And we're doing it here at our home Grand Prix in Silverstone. And Danny Kent, I'll be bitterly disappointed if you don't get the 1-2 for Britain here at our home Grand Prix. Obviously, if we win, I'll be very ecstatic. But Danny Kent, you need to do your duty as well. You need to come second, preferably. Not first. I don't want to come second. Oh, we got on that curb, though, a little bit too much. Mistakes starting to creep in. Don't bottle it, Niren. But we're coming around the final corner then. Oh my god, massive slide. Massive slide. It's going to be a shocker of an exit. And have we ruined our chance here? Have we ruined our actual chance at a win? No, we are quite a lot quicker through there. We almost bottle it at the end, but I think we're going to have... I think that's enough. I think that's 600ths of a second. And we stand up and we clap. And I think we have taken the win here, whether we had that penalty or not. So let's have a look. Yes, we had a 1/10, just over a 1/10 gap back to Danny Kent, sorry. So despite the penalty, we do take the win from Kent and Quartararo. Vasquez actually took 4th off Oliveira, so that's an absolute nightmare for Miguel Oliveira. And Vasquez, as always, finishes 4th, even though we beat him. Navarro 6th, Masbu, very good 7th for him. Then Haneker and Bastianini 8th and 9th. McPhee 10th at his home Grand Prix. Good result for him. Binder will be disappointed with 11th. Then it's Antonelli, Finati, Ono who gets 14th. And then Locatelli. And we move up to 6th place. I said after Brno we might move up to 6th place, and we have done. And we're only 2 points behind Brad Binder as well, who of course was only 11th in that race. There it is, our first win of this series, and we take the Grand Prix win at our home GP at Silverstone in front of the British crowd in the damp, truly English conditions, and we take our win. It feels like a proper underdog story. Just because it was raining, it's a home Grand Prix on it. If that had happened in real life, we'd be talking about that for another 5 seasons. We've actually got legitimate offers this time from certain teams. We've got Red Bull KTM, we've got Estrella Galicia, we've got Team Oakley, who are a sort of a privateer team made up by the game, Federal Oil Grassini Moto 2, Sky Racing VR46, another private team, and then another private team. But obviously, we starred Red Bull KTM IO as our favourite, and that is what we are going to go with. We are going to rock and roll with Red Bull KTM. We are now a Red Bull KTM rider, and we're now in another 4-man squad. And yeah, we are now a Red Bull KTM rider. You can see our bedroom, which has still got our Aspar leathers up, which will always act as a reminder of the team that gave us our first break in MotoGP. Nevertheless, that brings an end to today's episode of MotoGP Career Mode. Feel free to hit the likes button if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you are new around here. I would massively appreciate that. Getting close towards 500 subscribers, which is pretty cool on this channel, so thank you guys very, very much for that. I really appreciate it. Glad you guys are enjoying this series as well. But it has been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a good day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.